5 and the new emerging standard for 3D on the web called WebGL. Technically, it's just built in Python and just an insane amount of JavaScript. There's about 4,000 3D models for the male and female that stream to your browser for real-time manipulation. So what can we do with it? The first thing we could do is peel off or turn on different anatomy layers. And then you can drill in, or you can just select something from within the scene itself. Yeah, so it's a good note. The system obviously works better if you have a good GPU. No offense, Jessica. But anyway, it's a little more fluid on other computers. So you can select an object within the scene. All anatomy is fully labeled. Most now have audio titles. We're also pulling in descriptions to supplement the visuals. This is coming from Wikipedia, but because all the anatomy is tagged with common medical ontologies, this could be really any source of well-structured data. So it, of course, also has a search feature built in if you want to find something more quickly. So when you select something, it has this Google Earth-like fly-to ability. So the urinary system, for instance. And when you choose it, it goes into what we call X-ray mode. So you can see internal organs within the structure of the body a lot better. And then if you want even clearer view, you can isolate these objects. So if you just want to look at the urinary system. Or you can just look at the kidney, the bladder. The respiratory system looks pretty cool. Or the trachea inside. Or even the entire cardiovascular system. So a couple other tools I want to point out. If you're using this, you'll probably want to create a custom view. So at the bottom here, there's a tool for dissection. So you can go in here and you can hide things. If I want to hide, the front of this guy's skull, maybe take off his eyeball. And the front lobe of the brain. All right, so now I have the view that I'm interested in. You can bookmark it, so you can save it for future reference. You can, of course, share it. So my mom would love this. Maybe you're a teacher, you want to send it to your students, or a doctor, your patients. You can also take a snapshot of it. So if you wanted to take an image and use it in a presentation or whatnot, you have that ability. So one other thing that we recently added, screen's resizing. Okay. So something else that we recently added is the ability to do cross sections. So if I wanted to cross section the biodigital human from the left, spin him around. Cross section from the right. Really going to chop them up a bit. And then you're left with this sliver of the body. And this may be, analogous to something you'd see in a CT or an MRI scan. I also think this visual is a good example of the power of 3D in learning, especially for subjects like the body, which by nature are 3D. Static illustrations really just don't do it justice. So what we've showed you so far has applications in learning from high school students, college, medical students, dental, nursing, even up to more experienced doctors. But from the beginning, we always wanted to do something that would be helpful to patients and their families. So under this conditions tab is just the real start to a huge undertaking to model most human conditions into this 3D environment. So a normal heartbeat, for instance, and we can go back to X-ray mode. And now you can look at the motion of a normal heart. You can even cross it again. And you can look inside and see what the motion of normal valves should look like. In contrast, you can look at an arrhythmia. So if you wanted to see atrial fib, for instance, and now you can see the heart flutters a bit differently. So a couple other quick examples. We put a device in here just as a prototype. This is a hip implant, which is becoming a lot more common as population gets older. And actually, we just threw this one in for fun, but golf swing. We had worked with a professional golfer a couple years ago. This professional golfer wanted us to do a 3D animation on the proper biomechanics of a swing. So it was cool, but at the time, the viewer was limited to the angle that we provided. And now, taking that same animation, putting it in this interactive environment, the user has control to look at it from whatever angle they think is most relevant, so the foot. Anyway, in summary, the application we think has value for both patients and professionals, but ultimately, we just want to create an environment for sharing medical information in a very visual, understandable format. Thank you.